Congeners.
It's so tired lately.
Aiden, do you know what congeners are?
I believe that they're a byproduct of fermentation that gets metabolized in your body as, like, fucking formaldehyde. By the way, it turns into literal formaldehyde.
That's crazy.
We're all like stupid Damien Hirst sharks inside of our own bodies.
We're just that much closer to being 6 feet under.
Damn. True. It's weird, because if it's a preservative, you'd think that it would make your skin really good, and hangovers make my skin awful.
Dear reader, we have a confession to make. We're hungover right now a little bit.
A little bit. But not from drinking
Not
that much.
Not from drinking that much. I had an existential moment where I thought, I'm too old for this, in a very calm way last night. And I was surrounded by friends, and it was wonderful because we were just having a nice time, and everyone departed before the bar was closing, and we all went our separate ways. And I said, I no longer need to stay until the close of the bar.
Closing time.
I think when the lights come on then, it's even worse than if it was just like, okay, we're time to close. It's like, get the fuck out. And everyone just looks so bleary-eyed and like stepping out like they just were born into the world.
They were just born.
They were just born.
Everyone's a baby, but a sad, drunk baby.
And I just want to stand there and say, your hangover starts now.
So bitchy, but I like it.
Because if someone did that to me, I would say, you're totally right. I emotionally am more of a wreck this second day after like a really big, bad drinking night.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you think that it's like all chemical, or do you think that it's compounded just from being like, oh, I like feel shitty, but I also like lost a day?
I think it's both of those things. I think you're starting out at a low level and then you're not doing yourself any favors, and so it's combination.
I feel like a part of getting older is also just feeling like I don't have that much time. I would just say we are like under 30. Like we're probably, knock on wood. Is anything in this bedroom wood? Like
this.
Yeah, thank you. Knock on wood. I think we're okay. We got some time. Like I just feel like a little like shrivelly salt lick at the end, and I
wish I felt like a salt lick, because that means someone would lick me.
Well, I guess like a horse or like
like
a rabbit.
Deer.
Yeah. I mean, cute. Like, yeah, that's true. Wait, we should get really hungover and go to the forest.
That sounds horrible. That sounds like absolute hell on earth. I do think there's something really refreshing about a good cold swim when you're hungover.
What the fuck? No, I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy doing anything.
Oh, because I feel like you feel like a shrivelly little salt lick of a person.
Okay, that's true.
And then you jump in and it's like eye drops for your whole body.
Where are you doing that though? Like, where do you have, like, we don't have a pool.
We don't have a pool. I mean, I guess it's more like
Sorry. Just knowing that you did it to yourself, the shame.
Yes.
It's like being sick, but it's your fault, so it's being sick and ashamed at the same time, and that sucks. Like, because usually when you're sick, like, the silver lining is that you can make other people feel bad for you.
Right, and they're like, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, that's literally why, like, Munchausen's exists.
I just feel truly guilty about most things now.
At this point, if I have 2 drinks, I will get hungover, because I'm a very sensitive baby now. I'm gonna have to, like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to, like, change my life.
No, we've had a lot of reckonings. Reader,
We've
had a lot of reckonings.
We have. Wow.
One huge takeaway every single time that I do a little non-drinking period is that it feels great to not ever wake up with a headache or feeling hungover or anything like that. I have a magic hour, I like to call it, that happens to me when if after a night of drinking, I'll just miraculously wake up at 5 a.m. and look at the clock, know I get to go back to bed, but then force myself to get up, chug like 2 huge glasses of water, and take 2 ibuprofen. And I will say there are some beautiful hungover moments in my life as well. Like if it was a big party at your house and the next morning your roommates and you are all just hanging out around the kitchen table, and maybe like someone smokes a little weed, someone else makes some eggs, there's a big pot of coffee, and then you just sit around for hours and you talk about funny stuff last night, and you're like maybe still like a little drunk. My mom, not to switch topics too much, but my mom always said that once you want a chocolate milkshake, you're hangover. is coming to a close.
Oh my god, do you remember also the first when I first got our first hangover? I'm sure that we had other hangovers together because we met in
Yes,
college.
we absolutely.
But like my first LA, like my really first LA like party experience was Leah's Halloween party. We drank a lot. I burned a chair. I like there was a chair. We put it in the fire. It was dope. And the next day I woke up. I threw up next to your bed.
There's a little stain.
Yeah, sorry about
It's okay.
that.
Actually, like,
You were so nice to me about that too.
because who cares?
Who cares? The next morning, Leah's roommate at the time, Pat, like, he, like, made me, like, chocolate milk. Like, he was like, you're gonna love this. This is the only hangover here. And it was not drinkable. It was not a thing that I wanted to
Ovaltine?
It was
or
Ovaltine.
It was Ovaltine.
It was, like, which is, like, fake chocolate milk?
It's like a malted.
Oh my god, I'm, like,
chocolate.
honestly, like, a little bit nauseated just thinking about, like...
I'm already planning where I'm gonna get my milkshake later today.
Ooh. A 16-ounce glass of milk in any context is just disgusting to me. Like, as an adult, it should be illegal. And being, like, really hungover and him being like, nah, this is gonna be good. This is, like, what you want. And you, like, I remember he left the room and you were like, you don't have to drink
Yeah,
that.
I was like, you can put it down. And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I probably drink it. You know what? Hangovers are
Hangovers.
not always that bad.
I still think they're pretty bad.
They're pretty shitty.
It's so tired lately.
What is it? What does it stand for?
Perennial dissonance of applications?
Yeah, sign me up.
Pretty darn accurate.
Please don't at Applebee's.
Is that like a Twitter thing? Like, please don't. And
Yeah, the Applebee's, I keep sending photos of me making out with people to Applebee's on Twitter, and they keep being like, please don't. That's my praxis, yeah.
Whoa, cool.
Anyways, P.D.A. stands for Public Displays of Affection.
Public displays of affection.
I don't love P.D.A. I don't know, though, I have mixed feelings about P.D.A. I feel complicated about P.D.A.
I love it.
Oh my
little
God.
bit.
Tell me more. Tell me why you love it.
Well, Aiden, as you and some of the viewers at home might know, I grew up in a Roman Catholic parish where you don't do that. You know, I don't know why I like it. No, I do. I think there's something very sweet about it that you just want to be touching someone that you love. And I don't think it should be gross and all of the time. Like, I think, like, intense makeouts in the middle of a restaurant is inappropriate. But, I don't know. Baseline of holding hands when you're walking down the street, it's so cute and pure.
Holding hands is cute. Holding hands is cute.
What do we think qualifies as P.D.A.?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I would not consider holding hands PDA. Literally the weight of my heart, if you were my friend, is to, like, hold my hand. It's very cute. There's a lot of cream cheese on it right now, I'm sorry. So I think it's kissing, kind of butt touching. Damn, there was, like, an old, like,
I
an
don't know,
older
I
lady.
immediately just imagined two people just touching their butts.
No, let me tell you, I would be scandalized. I fully support that backing up into each other so that just your butts touch.
I more imagine it like having your arms around each other and then you both pivot to the left or right, so it's like a
like kind of a more like a hinge.
like more like a hinge.
Yeah.
It's a hinge.
I was imagining like a bumper car collision. Like kissing feels weird because I feel like it sort of implicates everybody else it asks the people around you to make a choice about like whether or not they want to be perverts. It's hard to not have a public display of affection with an everything bagel because I feel like you do have to like make out with it to like get it all in your mouth and the seeds are everywhere.
someone has to be on standby.
It's not just like horny teenagers on their way home from high school. Like it is people in their 50s like sitting on a park bench like kissing. It's really sweet, honestly. I mean, there are a couple moments where you're like, oh, okay, I don't know how far they're going right now, but otherwise, I think it's really, really nice to be so in your own world with your other person that you're not thinking about
everything else that's going on around you.
You did touch on a good point that I really liked, which was that when you said, like, high schoolers coming home from, like, school, because, like, when you're a teenager, you kind of, like, can't have private displays of affection. Like, if you're, like, you know, you're obviously, like, you're surrounded by figures of authority all the time, like, at school and at home, and so sort of, like, the public space is kind of the only space where you can make out with people. Where else are we gonna go? We're gonna go to the park. We're gonna go to, like, you know, like...
Pinkberry.
Pinkberry.
I just want someone to touch my boobs in Pinkberry.
Mom, I'm talking about having my boobs touched in the Santa Monica Park.
Mom, leave me alone.
Mom, I'm busy. Hey, referencing section 1 for one of this, our brains aren't working so well right now. You know, I mean, I think I've also, though, been in situations where I've dated, like, men specifically who have made me feel like, I don't know, who have made me feel like sort of like they're expressing their ownership over me by, like, engaging in acts of P.D.A.
Troubling and bad and weird.
Yeah, or, like, they're sort of, like showing me off or being like, I look at this thing that I get to consume. Like, it's not about me. It's almost like... It's about other people around.
Yeah, flaunting your goods.
Yeah, totally.
Ew.
But it's, like, the intention about it, and I'm trying to, like, figure out exactly, like, how to tell the difference, and I think it's just, like, a vibe. Assuming everybody is consenting and feels good about themselves, like, you know, that's kind of cute.
I want to make out with P.D.A. in public when in that case.
You just want to make out with the idea of
I
P.D.A.?
want to make out with the idea of P.D.A. I want a P.D.A. with P.D.A.
You want to hinge.
I want to hinge with P.D.A.
It's so tired lately.
Or maybe. Oh, did you see that hummingbird?
What? Where?
It was just out the window.
Okay, I don't see this at all.
Sorry, it was at that window and then it flew around the corner.
Oh!
Yeah, so maybe.
It's so tired lately.
Wake up!